Happy New Year, Yarrow fam. If you see my background, you know it's that time of year again when we start seeding stuff up. Um, we want to bring you guys along on the journey this year so that we can, grow together. But there are a few things that we need for seed starting, and here are our essentials for seed starting. So, before we get our seed started, we need some stuff. First on our list, we have a sterile mix, and that means a soilless mixture of peat moss or cocoa coir with perlite or vermiculite. So you'll have equal parts cocoa coir or peat moss and equal parts vermiculite or perlite. Some of these ingredients are very much debatable whether or not they're good to use in your garden, but we'll discuss that further down. Secondly, we need seed cells and trays of different sizes. Each seed needs a different size seed cell, and some plants, like we have turmeric here, needs big seed cells. So, collecting the seed cells that you need for the seeds that you have. Thirdly, seeds. These two go well together because it depends on what you're growing. It'll dictate what type of seed cells you need. Number four, I think, is we struggle with this one, and this one is label. You need a label and a Sharpie, permanent marker to write down what you plant, because variety selection is a home grower's most powerful tool, and you need to keep the data on what you're growing and what grows well in your garden. Number five, I have heat maps. Whether your fridge is warm, on their radiator, some people will make the necessary adaptations to suit their setup. We need heat mats because we have to start root crops early, ginger and turmeric, and they need the consistent heat to sprout. Next, humidity dome is also an asterisk because you might not need it, but for some things it really aids in germination. So a heat dome works, but we'll discuss how to make it work best for you because it can also kill your crops. Next is very important is a fan. I have a fan up here. This one's too little. We need to update that one, but having air circulation wherever you're keeping your seeds is very important to the health of your plants once later. Um, and next we have lights. So we have different type of lights in here. We have daylight bulbs, and we also have these, like, what you call it, indoor setup lights. And so we'll discuss which ones work best for us. And I think the ninth one is date and document. So date when you start the plants. Each plant you need a specific timing for so that you can have it ready for your garden or not staying too long inside. So we'll talk about that later.
So could you tell us more about why you use the sterile mix?
We use a sterile mix because we want to start from a soilless substrate when starting seeds. It's easy to facilitate a fungal environment when starting seeds out because the humidity helps the seeds to germinate, but it also can help um, fungus and bacteria spread. And when you use a sterile mix, a soilless mix, you makes it harder to facilitate that kind of environment for your seed starts. Okay.
So at what point do you begin to incorporate compost or something like that into your mix?
I'd say like a week after they've germinated, a week to 2 weeks, you want to pot up your seedlings, and that's when you want to incorporate compost to that mix, and that mix would be equal parts compost, perlite or vermiculite, and cocoa coir or peat moss or leaf mold or whatever you choose.
So talk to us a little bit about the seed cells. Why are different sizes valuable for different seeds?
Oh, okay. So each seed have different size. Yeah, they come in array of sizes, and you kind of plant depending on the seeds. So there are some perennial seeds that you sow on the top of the soil, on surface soil, and there are some seeds you have to sow a quarter inch, half inch. So it depends. There are some plants that, even though they're tiny, they have a deeper root system, so they need space to grow, to be able to develop into that um, healthy little seedling that you're able to pot up. So you need to give it a good enough size start, but not too much of a start. Then the soil becomes loose, and then when you're transplanting, it's falling apart because the cell was too big for this tiny seedling to, bring the soil together and help you with the transplanting. So it not only helps you with transplanting, but also keeps the root system much more healthy. It keeps the plants at a manageable size. As you last year when we ran out of size and we started the soil, I had the Thai soil in the small cells for like a month and a half, and they kept small. So if you don't have the space, keeping them in smaller cells for a little bit at a time helps.
So can you talk about the importance of good trays, especially for bottom watering?
Oh yeah, definitely going back to the sterile mix, and this affects the watering as well. Watering your your seedlings, bottom watering them is much more important. It teaches the roots to like start its functions, that pull their nutrients from below, and then also too, if you're watering from the top, it kind of moves the soil around. It will dislodge the seed from where you planted it, and then you're wondering how your seeds are not germinating. It's because of how you watered sometimes. So, and that happens a lot to pepper seeds actually. So when you're doing your sterile mix, especially with the peat moss and the cocoa coir, you want to fully hydrate that before you make that mixture. So when you're making your sterile mix, you want to have your peat moss or cocoa coir, and you want to hydrate that with boiling water actually, to help to sterilize and kill off anything that's in there.
So can you explain bottom watering, like from ground zero? What does bottom watering mean? How do you do it?
Okay. So, I have plants up here. I can use this. For instance, we have these turmerics here. Because we don't want fungus gnats to grow on top, we don't want any fungal issues in here. We fill up the trays with water from the bottom and and give it some time for the plants to absorb the water, and then you actually dump that out. So you don't want your plants sitting in water, your young seedlings sitting in water, but you do want them to have the time to absorb the nutrients and the hydration from below. Yeah, it keeps the top healthy. It doesn't allow disease or bacteria and fungus to spread, and it keeps the roots too from not growing into other cells. So if you overfeed your cells and there's dirt, let me bring this one closer. If you overfill your cells and then dirt, you full up dirt up here, then the roots can go over into the cells. So when you're transplanting stuff, they'll be all tangled up, and that's not a good look. So so getting the right seed cells is super important. Next topic, let's talk about seeds. Yeah. Let's talk about seeds. Seeds. It's truly the money of the gardening community. This is true currency here. And so let's talk about how to source seeds. If you're new to gardening, you've never gardened before, try to find seed sources that are local to you. So your local organic store, surely it's coming around this time, they start bringing out the seeds out. If you want to shop online, you want to look for ethical seeds sources, people that are supporting local communities and not exploiting local indigenous communities that provide the seeds. So we have a few. I like Renee's Garden, Living Seeds, Victory Seeds. What else? Give me another one that we use.
Native Seed Search.
Native Seed Search, Southeast, Southwest. So definitely you want to think about where you are, and who is providing seeds around you, and how do they get their seeds? Are these seeds organic? Are they open pollinated? Can I collect the seeds and plant them? Like, should I get hybrids? If that's where you are, this video is for you. Stay tuned.
So what does open pollinated mean?
Open pollinated means you can collect the seeds from that plant and plant those seeds and get back the same variety.
So to me, that sounds like just regular seeds. What's the difference?
There are a lot of growers who sell their products, their seeds on Etsy. Etsy is a good place to find rare seeds. It's also a good place to support, small growers and small businesses that are trying to, put their foot out there.
The quality can be divergent.
The quality can be divergent. But I think looking at people's track records and be mindful, asking questions before you make that purchase can go a long way. There are also a different seed companies that I didn't mention before. There's the Seedstead, Victor Seeds. They're super cool. And also our favorite, collecting seeds that's grown from plants that are grown in our yard, that's used to our conditions. These seeds will always outperform ones that you will buy. I've also collected seeds from roadside right-of-ways. I've also asked people on the road for seeds. I've also seen, cool plants growing, and I'm like, okay, this is a good plant. What can I do to help spread it and still help spread it within the area? So whenever you're like looking for new seeds, always like think about the other person. Think about the plant. Think about that you're seeing this plant in while it's growing somewhere that it likes to grow. Help it to grow there. Don't just take it and bring it home because you want a cool garden.
And you should only take a small portion of the seeds.
Oh yeah, just take a seed head or two, if so much. Because you don't need, especially for native perennials, you don't need a lot of seeds to start out. So yeah, collecting seeds, labeling them. We have potting jars. That's the best way. So Abby and I were going to work on collecting more seeds so that we have a good seed bank. But that's something we struggle with as well because we don't want every year to be buying a lot of seeds. Next is labels. It's connected to the seeds. It's super important to label stuff. As I was saying earlier, variety selection is a gardener's biggest flex. It's like the best thing you can do because you're not growing for production, you're not growing for sale, you're growing for you and your taste buds and your family and your health. So, and just like for your abundance as well. So, growing things that speak to you and growing the varieties that you like, label them. Label them so you can have that for documentation purposes later. And you can know what you're growing. You can share with people and be like, this is what this is. And I want you to spread it. A part of our role as humans is that we're pollinators. We're land managers at best. And if that's what you're trying to do, you want to do it the right way, and you want to be able to learn and track what you're learning. So label your stuff. It's super important to know those little fine details. Like you can plant two varieties of a type of red chili, and one works and one doesn't, and then you just, oh, they're both red chilies. Which one works for you? Write it down. The next one is heat mats, and I have an asterisk over that because not everyone needs a heat mat. We use heat mats especially for ginger and turmeric. And last year, turmeric took like 4.5 months on a heat mats in order to come up. So always be patient and don't hover over the plants, because each time you interact with it, you introduce germs, you introduce bacteria, and we don't want that. So next we have humidity dome. You might not need that, but it's crucial to that. If you're using humidity domes, you are burping that. You're making sure that airflow, a little bit of airflow is happening, because your plants will rot under there and your seeds. Fan is very crucial. We have to have fun. We have to have the circulation. Not only does it help to not make germs spread, is that it also helps your plants to grow steady and stronger, their stems to be stronger. So a lot of the problems with growing starting plants indoors, that they get leggy and they get unwieldy. When you have a fan there, it tends, and good light, it tends to grow a lot more stocky and sturdy. And fan leads to lights. Lights is super important, especially when you're starting out. When the plants get bigger, they're able to be more forgiving with the light, but when they're just germinating, they are not forgiving. So you want to keep the lights at like 2 inches to 4 inches above the crop as they emerge, and make sure that you are having good lights, full spectrum lights. That's what you need if you are going to successfully grow stuff indoors. And the final tip we have is to date and document. We use social media to help us with the documentation purposes, but also we have garden journals. We have garden journals. We have our phone notes. We have these whiteboards. We have a blackboard. My point is, give yourself the time, carve the time out in the garden to document what you're doing and what works well. Another thing don't have on the list is timing, and timing is actually crucial. I don't know, it should have been like number two, but this is the last one. This is my last advice for all people growing in this year. Climate change kind of makes the weather so unpredictable. So sometimes it will trick you to start stuff super early, or, you know, that, hey, give you hope actually that you can plan stuff out pretty early. But I'd follow your zone and the timing, because it's critical. You don't want to have seedlings inside too long. It's not good for them. It's not good for your garden. It actually weakens the plant. So timing is critical if you want to save space, if you want to put things out at the right time. So follow us each month. For this month, I'm going to release a video of what we're going to seed. We're working on ginger and turmeric and some onions, and then we will talk about what we're doing month to month. Thanks for paying attention to our video. If you did not pay attention, that's okay too. But if you have and stuck around, please like, share, subscribe. I know I talked a lot about seed starting, but I'm going to show you a lot too. Stick around. Peace.